You're listening to it, perhaps watching, calling the Audible, the official Division 3 podcast for Flag Plus Football. I'm your host, Pease Delarize. I am joined in studio by Simon Dagenet, as usual, because you are both usually Simon Dagenet and usually here. And of course, Jim Kalethris is our producer. Jim, say hi to the good people.
Hey.
You can tweet them, of course, at DagenetFPF. And at GMCole44. If you want to tweet the show live, you can tweet at us at EagleFPF. We've already received a couple tonight, so that's been pretty fun. Pretty fun. Yeah, we have. Yeah.
I'm getting massages. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're gonna get awkward massages several times. That's of course, awesome. As GM Kalethris did lose in the table of terror.
It was never stipulated where, right?
It could be anywhere. It might even have a happy ending. And speaking of happy endings, we figured there was too much happiness here for just the two of us. So we figured the next logical step was to have a critter. That was a quote, of course, by Nicolas Cage, and we're brought to you in the Sportira cage. Since you can't bring a critter to any of the venues, come by Sportira and get your own jerseys. You can design any critter to be on your custom jerseys. Sportira, of course, official supplier of FPF jerseys and home of the podcast.
Still not as good as Independence Day.
So, never. This is C. You might get an A. A means you completely
exceeded expectations.
Exactly.
A for awesome.
So, GM Kalethris, we're gonna do one each. One for Simon, one for me. Simon, I'll let you go first because I don't know.
Thank you.
You're uglier and older than me.
I'm not older than you.
I don't know.
The Brotherhood.
B plus.
Yeah, that was the thought I had in my head as
They're
well.
the first seed, and I wasn't expecting them to be this strong.
BD Bandits.
BD Bandits, C. Exactly what I expected.
Sea Assassins.
C. I expected big offense, no defense. Exactly what it is.
D2 offense, D5 defense.
Yeah.
Triple Sixers.
D minus. I expect them to come in and at least be a factor.
Of Wolfpack, comparison, right?
Even Wolfpack, anyway, we'll get to
there. Killer Instinct.
A. I wasn't expecting Nathan Taylor to be this good.
I keep looking for you to either corroborate or deny, but lay buddies.
Les Buddies, C minus. I kind of expected to be a little bit better, but just didn't work out for them. The move to Simon Valley did not work out as planned.
La Sauce, are we just gonna give them an H? W.
13.
D for
13.
D for diploma. You graduated, but God,
They didn't graduate.
they
though.
finished the season.
Okay, that's not an accomplishment. That's just time passes. That's just a
want-
calendar.
So
I
what
just
you're
wanted to
saying
plug D for diploma.
is that they're the equivalent when you're saying you graduated of those kids in high school who are being prepared for careers instead of having
No, they're the equivalent of those.
Hey, I made a
NCAA
career preparing people for those careers.
No, they're the comparison of NCAA players who never went to a single class but still passed.
Laval's finest.
I'm gonna go B plus. B plus. I expected big things, but not as big as this. Good job, boys.
Predators.
C. I wasn't expecting them to finish 10-0, but they're in the playoffs with good seeding.
And we expected James Softy Annie to get hurt at one point.
He did.
That's a given.
There we go.
Mongoose.
My Goose.
No, not yours, Mo.
D plus. I expected them to be stronger in Division 3.
FOE.
Oh. B. I wasn't expecting FOE to be this strong. They've upset a lot of teams.
OTF. Battle of the Consonants.
OTF, I'm going to go with D. I expected them to make a big step up from last season. They didn't.
Meta Mayhem.
Oh, D minus.
Too much talent to have not won.
Oh
that
yeah,
many
I don't
games.
understand how they haven't won. I don't get it.
Nuggets.
C. That's what we said. Good players, trouble at quarterback, and there we go.
Wolfpack.
D. I was expecting to be 8-2.
Simo, answer this one again. Dark Moose returns.
C minus. 6-4 is good,
I
but
would not even give a C.
6-4 is good, but come on, guys.
Les Udespes.
Lasers just C. They did exactly what we expected them to do
they did.
every
They
single time.
really did.
Every single time. It's amazing.
Simone Jumpmans.
B. I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
much from Jumpmans, but hey,
Especially jumping from 4 to 3,
yeah,
absolutely.
but you guys did good,
Jumping.
man.
They're
Congrats.
men. They jumped.
Game Changers.
C
Faster.
minus, just because I thought they would get better, but
But they
not the
didn't.
strongest game changer roster.
West Park Boys.
Before Leon Holder, D.
A plus plus because they listened to the podcast. Because we told them to go get Leon Holder.
You're gay. Move on.
That seems hardly hateful.
Yeah.
So apologies to any gay listeners. Apparently, not all of us are tolerant on this
It
show.
was
You want to bash other ethnicities as well while we're at it?
what are you?
With that in mind, Dirty Dogs.
Dirty Dogs. D. I thought there's a lot of talent here, just didn't put it together.
Ballbusters.
Oh,
I would say they're my genuine A.
Yeah.
No, they're not because they crumbled in the last few weeks.
We didn't expect them to have the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Well, no, B plus to me, and I'm the one answering, so shut up.
You're still wrong.
2.5 Dens.
I want to say B because we expected them to be okay, but not excel this much. Like they beat some good teams.
Grip and Rip.
Other 2.5 Dans.
C plus. They should have been stronger than this.
2.5 Dan here.
Fun Boys.
Fun Boys.
I would
B
give them
minus.
I would give them a C minus. I feel like they should have done better than
They're
7 and 3.
serious boys. They're not fun.
Yeah, I expect them to have more fun.
Okay.
I agree. C minus. Change my grade.
P's answer again. Snatchers.
I'm gonna say A. I didn't even expect Simon Dashny to be able to fill out the registration form. So
It's true. I'm not very good at that.
he's not very intelligent. So
Mercenaries.
B.
C. Yeah.
I wasn't
C.
expecting much from Gino, and the last few weeks he did really well.
didn't you exactly
C plus.
expect the
No.
disasters of this roster?
Yes, but not at the end of the season. They pulled it together. So
That's true.
B.
Now
That
let's see
doesn't
who's still
surprise me in the
eligible.
least. Gino played and won a playoff game with 5 players. So that doesn't surprise me
No,
in
but
the
it
least.
surprises me because I didn't know that.
And past our prime.
Pastor Prime, I'm going to say D. I expect them to just win games because that's what they do. And apparently they only win against Moose.
I still hate them. us too.
You have break listed. Are we taking one or are we just diving right into it?
We'll dive right in.
So,
You go
the
this
Brotherhood Killer Instinct. I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, so like this game, I expect it to be a defensive battle.
way. So we're doing the breakdown of the playoffs now.
yeah.
Okay.
Now we will do the breakdown of the playoffs for those who played the home
It
game.
really wasn't clear.
Right. Brotherhood, Killer Instinct. Last time they played was in Week 8. It was 19-12. I expect the same kind of game. Both quarterbacks only had 2 touchdowns last time, so I expect big things from perhaps Adam Bailey. He was absent last time around. So,
No, he wasn't. But go on.
oh sorry, Jamal was absent.
Jamal
last time
Giddens
around.
was
Jamal Giddens. I misread my own notes.
Yes, your own notes.
So, Simon, how do you think this game will go? Do you think I'm right in that this will be a defensive
Yes,
game?
I have to agree 100%. I just don't think both defenses are too strong for the quarterbacks we're facing. So I'm expecting the defense to make some big plays, and 4 touchdowns should be the mark they're looking to achieve.
Theo and you just touched on this. Theo and Nate, Theo J and Nate Taylor are not natural quarterbacks, but phenomenal
It's not
athletes.
them as quarterbacks. The problem is
So
the
let me
defense.
finish asking my question.
No one cares.
Which of these
Traditional.
traditional quarterbacks do you expect to excel in this kind of game?
Theo more than Nate? Because Theo
Because
is a bit faster. I would expect him to use his legs a bit more than Nate would do. Like I don't see Nate really running around and getting.
I've been impressed by Nate throwing the ball this season.
Yeah,
however.
no,
honestly, I think he's the better thrower of the two.
Agreed, but when it comes down to it, what will you do to move the chains? If Theo can run and move the chains, he's gonna do it, and it might be the thing that gets them to win.
I think that Nathan is the better quarterback, but Theo can do more with the tools around him.
All right, that's fair. Simon, what's your pick?
Brotherhood Brotherhood will get 4 touchdowns. Killer Instinct will only get 3.
Okay.
So
It's a lot of
basically,
math in
Simone
there.
just said that it's a 6-point game that
Right.
he sees it.
GM, what's your pick?
I also see it as a 6-point game for the Brotherhood.
Awesome.
I say it's going to be a 6-point game for Killer Instinct. I'm looking forward to this one. This is probably my favorite game on the docket. Followed by, we now have Grip and Rip versus Fun Boys. Last time around, Grip and Rip actually won the game 26-24.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, but Fun Boys struggle against the 2.5 dance type offense with scrambling quarterbacks and broken plays. They don't seem to do well
Yeah,
against
but
that
that
kind
was
of
week
team.
2 with Sean Avram throwing for them. Not
I understand, but we've now seen them struggle in a more Vinny style offense as well. So Do they struggle in this game?
No. I think it's going to be an offensive shutout. Both teams are going to put up a lot of points. I'm expecting like something like 41 to 33, something like that. You know, like a high-scoring game on both sides, as defense will not be much of a factor.
It's weird though. I feel it's going to go one of two ways, where either like
Grip and Hurt wins or Fun Boys
yeah,
wins.
exactly. No, but the way Fun Boys will win is it'll be like kind of closer than you think. But if they lose, they'll get trashed and just never get back into the game.
Agreed. That's
Yeah, sorry.
I was not expecting that
I thought
whatsoever.
GM was coming to choke me to death. For those, of course, listening, GM Calanthros is giving me an awkward massage. I feel very special at the moment. A
Unzips
lot
the
of
hoodie.
tension in my chest, apparently. So, wow.
This is awesome.
So Vinny wasn't quarterback last time around. Do you think he's a better choice for them in this game than Shawnee?
In this game, yes. Because as we mentioned,
Yeah.
Fun Boys struggled against that kind of offense where it's broken plays and you have to play outside of the more traditional kind of football, whereas Shawnee Bram is very much of a pocket passer where it's very traditional football.
Can Phil Cutler take away De Silva?
Yes. If Phil Cutler takes away De Silva, GNR will have a very hard time moving the chains.
Should De Silva move to just having one name like a soccer player? Just De Silva at all times.
That's awesome. That sounds good.
Right?
It would only sound good if there was only one of them,
No, but he's the one.
despite teammates, right?
Exactly.
I
So-
feel like
No, but
a lot of this lies on the rush for Fun Boys. So Gabe D'Amico Mazza, if he can put pressure on Vinny, it's going to be a lot more difficult for him. But I don't see that pressure happening.
Fun note, Mazza in Italian means kill. So if he can kill the quarterback, so to speak.
Interesting.
I got off really quickly.
Hardly cared,
So
but go on.
prediction.
GNR by 4 points.
Cool. Upset. All right.
Yeah, I see Grippiner for the upset as well, as much as I don't want that to be the case for my teammate Vince. But it's probably
I'm gonna sweep it just because I want Vince to cry twice in a weekend.
Ooh.
BD
Shut up.
Bandits will take on Mongoose. They did not play each other this season. Given that they didn't play each other this season, who does that favor?
Beat Bandits.
Because would you turn into Did you turn into Simon all of a
Because
sudden?
you
I
don't
answered
wait for it.
And you're also making eye contact with me.
And you didn't. Your answer is like why?
Because
I feel like it's BD Bandits because Mongoose sort of find their rhythm when they play a team that they've played before and sort of adapt to their weaknesses. BD Bandits have a very, very strong defense that Mongoose haven't seen before either. Very strong, very physical, and I think that Alex Godet is going to implode.
fair. Cook and Sander versus Knuckle and Tandro. Who's got the advantage?
Cook and Sander.
Because
I just find them to be better athletes for division, but Mongoose on the flip side as the better third receiver.
can we make like an
So
Allen Iverson?
when you say they have the better third receiver, is it Delos or François Delorier or who do you mean is that better third
as a
receiver?
snapper.
Okay.
So in your
check down.
in your
Now
matchup
then-
of these two guys versus these two guys, the third guy.
No.
Here's what decides it
I'm
for you.
gonna turn that then. Evan Cook. It was Evan Cook and Steve Sanner. You said Evan Cook and Steve Sanner.
No, Casey Cook.
Casey Cook, sorry, my mistake.
Casey Cook and Steve Sanner
Yeah.
against those three. Who do you take?
Oh, those three.
I don't think so.
In my opinion, those three because it's three guys, and I love snappers except Peas. But yeah, but if you add the I still like Mongoose better because they go there with these guys, but not like these guys alone.
So again, I just find it funny that in battle of two guys versus two guys, you mentioned the third guy.
No,
Awesome.
I answered your question.
So
and then I
Belvedere or
developed.
Godet, GM thinks Godet will melt down. Neither of these guys
I
are guys that we particularly celebrate in FPF.
Belvedere is gonna melt down.
Okay, so you have the opposite opinion
Yes.
of. So you think it's your goose. So
My goose.
your goose will win.
Yes.
Prediction.
30 to 25.
And okay, well, let's get your prediction first, GM.
BD Bandits.
Okay.
Score and a half, 2-score game.
So you guys beat the champion for each of your picks. Can either of these teams be a dark horse in the playoffs? BD Bandits or Mongoose?
I don't see it. I'm sorry.
You don't see it at all?
Nope.
What about you, Jim?
BD Bandits have that higher division experience. They've made it far in the playoffs before. I believe the furthest they've been is losing to Serve with Ice in the semifinals. They're definitely capable. It's just going to be difficult.
in the battle of the longest team names in Division 3. 2.5 Dans take on Dark Moose Returns.
Poor
They did
Ryder.
not play each other this season, which I don't think favors either team particularly, but I feel it really doesn't favor Dark Moose Returns.
Well, you guys
Um,
know him, and you guys know him more than they know you because your roster has changed more than theirs.
That's true. That's fair. So some quick notes on this one. As you said, there's some familiarity. Who has the biggest advantage here?
I think it's up to Dark Moose to win this one because you know what the Dans are going to do, and you know how much they're going to put up, and it comes down to can you guys keep up and go beyond what they're doing? Because I find that the Dans, they're going to put up like 33 points, but they're not going to put up like 50, and they're not going to put up 20. They're going to put like 33 against you guys, and it's going to come down to can Fred do more than what the Dans are doing. I find that they're a very static team. Like we always do kind of the same thing. Whoever we face, we always perform well, but we never really exceed
So
expectations.
you're on Dan's Nation now, referring to yourself as we. You are the royal
I
we.
said we?
Yeah.
No, I said we expect them to do blah, blah, blah.
Oh, got it. Misunderstood you.
Yeah, you don't listen to me ever.
No, it's. Well, I want to be like our listeners. Who will be the X factor for Dark Moose? Will it be John Laristis, the rusher, or John Laristis, the wide receiver?
The receiver.
Because I want to make like an Allen Iverson practice video, but with me saying because from this season. Because
I would have to say he's the speed on your offense, and that's the thing that really.
there's no other speed in that offense. No
Nope,
Justin Blanchard.
no,
No Julien Bellavance.
Nobody.
All right. Cool.
Irrelevant. I find that with his speed, you're going to be able to do a lot, like open up the field for you guys. Yes, a rusher is rushing is very important, but I find his speed on offense is going to be the key.
Yes, but not for the reasons that Simon said. John Laristis is just very clutch when it comes to these sort of make it or break it games. In fact, as the historian, I can tell you that John Laristis has the most playoff touchdowns in FPF.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely. Hopefully, you can add some of those touchdowns for Dark Moose Returns. Laval's finest take on FOE in the previous matchup. FOE won 20-12. Can Lubin outduel Mashtub?
Well, I would have to say yes, but now we heard Lubin's injured, so
What is the injury? Just to let the good people
pull
know.
hamstring, I think.
Yeah.
So considering Lubin's not playing 100%,
And the way he plays too, his running ability can never be discounted.
no, 100%.
So I mean,
He
if
doesn't
he's
run
not
that
100%,
He doesn't run that much with FOE. He
but
shoots-
if he needs,
Yes.
especially in the playoffs where the windows are tighter, it's nice to have a guy who can take off and get you 8 yards.
That's the factor is he doesn't move much. He doesn't move at all. He just hits like underneath all the time. Sometimes it's gonna beat you with like after 8 short passes, gonna hit one deep to Moses. But to know that he's able to just run for first down on any given play is a trip by itself that you have to account for. But if he's injured and cannot run, you lose that edge on any given rush.
So that's a good question. Given that Kevin Lubin doesn't really like throwing deep, can they win a game without him really throwing
Oh
beyond
yeah,
10 yards?
100%. They did it against us.
But you're
Us
not,
by
you're not a
snatches.
real team. But
Yes, we are.
who's Laval's finest, best kept secret?
Theo, Becker, the snapper.
Theo
Becker's-
McAllis?
Yeah.
Because
Well, he has 19 touchdowns for some reason.
and we've never talked about it. This
No,
amazing thing is,
yeah.
he has gone under the radar, and it's a bit on us. And it's a team we didn't cover. We
Well,
covered them early in the season, and not as much later.
Everyone knows they have Jordan McLaren
Yeah,
and Rod. We might have talked about Zach Z
Zach Zorn.
because a lot of people like
You
most
don't know
people-
how to pronounce any team names on that team, do you?
bro.
You went with Zach Z and Theo something.
No, but we call him Z. Anyways, he's a really good player, and I find like most people don't know him, so we try to shine light on him. But we really didn't talk about Theo Bickleys, and he's an
McAllis?
amazing snapper, and he runs a lot of goes, man.
Yeah. But he's quick. He's,
Oh, yeah,
he's the
yeah.
kind of snapper that can get to second level, which is always
good.
useful on offense. Sea Assassins versus Predators. This game has me dizzy just thinking about it.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be.
And last time they played, by the way, just to cut you off because I like hearing myself more than you. Sea Assassins did win 51-30, but Sea Assassins were without James Floriani, who was going
Predators
crazy
were
on the sideline, unable to partake in
Predators
this
were
game.
without James Morani.
Yes.
Yes, you said Sea Assassins. Anyways, I think it's gonna be
That's what I said.
go score for score. The
Sea
whole
Assassins
time.
were also without James Floriani in this game.
Yes.
There we go.
But I would say this is going to go score for score the whole way. I expect 2 stops, 1 on each side, and maybe 1 pick, but 1 like punt or something. But or maybe a score like do not score before halftime with very little play. But anyways, two stops, go toe to toe. It's going to come down to the last possession, which Predator will have.
Without Dennis Quaid Johnson in the lineup,
Huge loss.
who becomes the number
Huge
2?
loss.
Absolutely huge loss. He actually hurt
He has
his thumb.
Yeah, he's
tore
torn a
his-
ligament in his thumb.
Yeah, I spoke to him this week.
He's out.
He's a good spirit. I mean, like, he's a chill guy. So he was saying like it sucks that to happen, but you know he still
It is what it is.
believed in his team, and you know he thought they can go out there and compete anyway.
And especially like for training for the Stingers, like maybe the rest will be the best thing for him.
Yeah, well, he told me he's going to take it easy in the spring and definitely be resting for tackle season. But with him gone, who's the real number 2 behind Blanchette?
I don't remember who I wrote on the script.
Casey.
Yeah, so that's him. That's I remember writing the script and I don't remember who I wrote, but yeah, Blanchette's gonna have way too much coverage because now he's Daddy One receiver of the year. Everybody knows him. I expect him to eat double coverage the whole game against Predators because they're smart enough.
Is
to
Zach
adjust.
Junior playoff eligible? Can you look at
I
that
will
for
check
me?
that out.
Because I would say Zach Junior would be the logical
I
number 2.
expect Blanchette to be eating coverage the whole night, and they need somebody else to step up. Now that Quaid's not there, if Quaid was around, they would be forced to like cover both. But without Quaid,
So here's my question: why then would you not expect Zach Junior to be the next guy?
because he hasn't been this season. They had the 1-2 punch was Blanchette Quaid, and now Quaid's out, and it's not like they tossed around. Everybody's like,
But it-
Yeah, but Lazara has that chemistry with Jonio.
And in the playoffs, you go to the guy who's most familiar to you, which for him
But
is
is-
Zach Jonio,
is
who
Jonio-
hasn't had an amazing season.
who's
But
Jonio good enough to beat Predators' defense? That's the question. Like Blanchette is, but can Jonio make the step?
we'll have to see. Can Floriani keep up with Lazara?
Yes,
Yes,
he's done it in the past.
I was gonna say that word for word.
All right.
Awesome.
What's the biggest factor in this game?
Come again?
What's the deciding factor in this game?
Oh, PATs.
PAT.
First
Yeah.
turnover wins.
All right. Yeah, I can see that. And the two quarterbacks who do protect the ball, so
Yeah.
that's exactly why. And you know what? If there are no turnovers, then I defer to your argument. It will be PATs at that point. Simon, your pick.
Predators by like 1 or 2 points.
Predators by 1.
I kind of have a feeling it's going to be like that finals game where Predators just got up early and then and Sea Assassins fell apart. I think it's going to be like the opposite of what happened earlier this season. It'll be like 50-30 for the Predators.
You're allowed, you're allowed to have your own.
Absolutely. Wolfpack Lizardist, I got an email today from Rob Campana.
We got the message.
It was.
It
I
sucks.
feel bad. It sucks. The Wolfpack are going to be without enough players to compete in this game. They just had a large string of injuries. Most of the players that they have on the roster are not playoff eligible, so they wrote to the commissioner to ask for an exemption to see if they can have a couple of guys become playoff eligible. But it's not fair. It's not fair.
It doesn't work that way.
We can't do that because once you open that door and you make that exception,
There's no way back from it.
there's no way back. And you
Jurisprudence for those of you who.
nice, well done.
Yeah. So
and so-
Wolfpack had to give up the game.
Yeah, and so
At
they'll be
least they did-
forfeiting. They're letting the Exist know, so the Exist can go party in Vegas. And
At least it's not like they're no show. That's the worst thing is just not showing up. So at least like it's Easter weekend for everybody. So if we just had actual plans, they didn't have to.
And the thing is, I actually saw Lizards just winning this game anyway
I think so too.
because
I expected
it's
this-
not the strongest Wolfpack roster.
Nope.
And for as good as
Lafontaine has really stepped up. He's a much better QB now than he was a few weeks ago. And
So does the talk begin now? Because I touched upon it with FOTC a couple seasons back. Do teams sort of forfeit their playoff spot if they can't field an eligible roster?
what's our precedent right now? What have we done in the past?
Nothing.
None.
Team goes through, and I guess it's difficult to answer your question, Eagle.
Well-
is like, say for example, if you forfeit your playoff spot,
we've discussed.
does
it in the
everyone
past.
else move up a seed? Like, does everything else get reseeded? How
To
does
me-
that work?
To
exactly?
me, we discussed it in the past.
I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, and this isn't official in any way, shape, or form, but I think for me there's two scenarios that we're looking at. One of them is you have a team.
For those who can't see, and no one can because it's off
actually feels
camera,
pretty
but Eagle's getting a massage by GM Calathris. It's very sexual.
Go on.
Anyway, there's two scenarios. One of them is you have a team which makes playoffs and doesn't have enough players to actually field a eligible roster. So you have 4 players with the number of games required and nothing else. In that scenario, and this is my opinion only, the team should forfeit their playoff spot and the reseeding should take place. Basically, it's like they're not considered in the rankings at that point.
So
in
what do
time.
you do for teams that didn't get this benefit in the past? When teams have
Nothing.
forfeited a playoff spot?
But
Well,
I would
I
do it
mean-
the other way around.
That's the issue, though. So, like, If I'm a team who just missed out on the playoffs in the past and this rule wasn't in place,
Yeah, but
it's
you're
kind of crappy.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, we'd be introducing a new way of doing seeding for another season, right? We can't just do it now. It needs to be something that we control at the beginning of the year. But that would be one scenario where you actually don't have a roster that can make playoffs. The other one is maybe in this case over here where you have enough players to field a team, but you have injuries that prevent them from actually playing in the playoff game, right? So you have at least 5 that have 6 games played. And in that case over there, the team basically says, I'm not going to show up, I can't play. And that would be a different one. That would just be exactly what we have now, where the game just goes to whichever team is not forfeiting, rather, right? You're not giving up your playoff spot because you're eligible from a roster perspective. You just can't you're not going to field a team due to injury.
To me, the only way I find that would make it logical to make it happen, first, we need to agree for that before the season. So make it like a statement rule before the season. Because we can't do it right now and say, oh, listen, it happens. 19 gets in. It sucks for everybody because we can't move the games around. It's too close to the games and everything. So we're stuck with what it is. But if we make it safe before the season, say, if this happens, 19 will get in. And then we can discuss the scenario.
But even like an Eagles perspective, the thing is that Wolfpack are eligible for playoffs.
Yeah, but
they have enough players who are eligible for the playoffs. It just because of injury, they can't.
Okay, so they can't play. In this case, if we know in advance, and if it's preventable, in this case, like they tell us beforehand that we can do something about it. If there's no show, there's nothing we can do.
You can't, because what if you can't have a rule that relies on players to voluntarily share information, because they can just as easily just not tell you. And then the rule didn't apply, so that 9th team was like, wait a second, why did nobody call us? So do you have the 9th place team just sitting at the complex waiting in case?
No. But for instance, in this very particular case,
but you can't make a rule that
that's why
requires the voluntary interaction of
that's
a
exactly
team.
why the rule is not in at the
No,
moment.
see, the check here has to be if a team has a playoff seed after week 10 or after the final game. Are there 6 players, or 5 players actually in theory, that have the minimum games played? If the answer is no, the team forfeits its seed. If the answer is yes, they get ranked and get matched against the team, as is the case with Wolfpack here. And then Wolfpack goes, sorry, my guys are injured, or I can show up, or we're going to stand on the field or kneel every play, and then the game's going to be over anyways. So at that point, we're not going to show up. So for me, it's 2 distinct scenarios that we're looking at. One of them is, has the captain managed the team well to field a eligible roster? Or are you injured and basically not going to show up to your game?
I'm debating this current scenario here, where the only thing we could possibly do at this point, the only thing we could possibly do,
but we can't
I know,
because it doesn't make sense.
It's not gonna happen. But what I'm saying, the only thing that could possibly work is
But it can't work.
we take Wolf back, take him out of the equation, but we cannot change anything. So
But we can't do that.
I know, but the only
We
thing
could not ever do it in the future.
No, but the point is, I'm not looking at Wolfpack because, to be honest, fuck them. But on the flip side, if Udzist
I'm
add
not
plans,
attracted to them personally,
but if Udzist add plans this weekend, they cancel their plans to be at the game on Saturday night because it's Saturday night. It's not like Sunday night, whatever. They're missing their plans. They canceled their plans in advance, and now they're told you're not going to play at all.
Call Snatchers, call Darkmost Returns. We'll have a game. It'll be for fun. It's free football.
You understand what I mean?
Yes, but you can't build in a rule that requires
That's why the rule is not in.
volunteer.
in
But
it,
that's
'cause
why
we
they'll
haven't
never
found-
exist.
We haven't found a way to make it work.
Exactly.
Anyways, let's move on there.
No, because did you
Oh my God, let's move on. It's not interesting. I'm falling asleep. I don't care. Wolfpack, you're done. I'm sorry. You're good guys.
Go,
I'm mad at these guys, not you. Ballbusters, which is what I'm surrounded by, take on Jumpmans.
I'll bust your balls.
They had no previous meeting. Is this the worst possible matchup for
Calm down.
Ballbusters?
Jesus Christ, you're so fun.
God damn it.
There you go. Anyways, no, it's not the worst possible matchup for Ballbusters.
It's up there in my opinion.
I think it's a good matchup for Jumpmans. I think it's a favorable one for Jumpmans,
but not a bad one for...
No, because...
So I don't know if you know how math works.
No, because I find that Jumpmans add worst possible matchups, whereas Ballbusters could pretty much face anybody.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I just had to describe it for you because you're not very smart.
Well, no, because
Wait.
anyway, the way you worded it was just bizarre. But
Anyways, I could see either team win this one, but I don't see any matchups where Ballbusters are not able to compete.
they've been slumping last few games. Is this like heading into the playoffs a bit ass backwards? Will this affect them moving forward?
Well, if it wasn't for their win against Triple Sixers week 11, I would have to say yes, because it's a shitty way to get into the playoffs. But with the solid win they got against Triple Sixers last week, the confidence is back up.
Is Jamie O'Shea enough to take away the Jumpman's deep ball?
No, because they send triple deep all the time. They're running they send triple deep, and then you're stuck with ball busters playing cover one. Jamie can cover the entire field. He can lock one side by himself, so he can take two, go and say White goes deep and the other one goes skinny post, whatever. He can take both, but he can't take all three.
Fly post corner.
Yeah,
And
or if you run
someone's open.
Exactly. At this point, with a free safety, so you need to cover two, but I don't see Ballbusters having that second safety in the roster, so it's a bit of a matchup nightmare.
Who needs a bigger game, Vitsi or Ohayan?
Sorry, I couldn't.
Who needs a bigger game, Vitsi or Ohayan?
Ohayan, because I believe Vizi's going to have a big game by himself, but they need somebody else to step up because they're going to take his game away after the first two scores.
Gentlemen, your predictions.
Ballbusters by less than a score.
Same.
I'm going to go with Jumpmans. They will win by 10 points.
Fun.
Final thoughts.
When Eagle takes his headphone off to go speak to the mic, he becomes completely irrelevant. I said in the script, Eagle do not speak, and he exactly did the opposite.
Man, when, I don't know, when we start talking about rules and it becomes that, when it becomes a rules podcast, god damn does it become boring fast. The only person who cares is Eagle. His nipples are legitimately hard right now.
You asked me for final thoughts, that's my final thoughts.
GM, your final thoughts.
It's definitely an interesting thing to consider, but I think that at the end of the day, it's really against our better interests to let Eagle speak.
Guys, I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for one this week. Just remember, after your conference finals games that are coming in 2 weeks, remember to stick around, as someone from the podcast community will reach out to you to make arrangements for you to come to the press conference. Exactly, most likely be me. Thank you, Simon, for all the work you've done. Thank you, GM, for all the producing. Thank you, Eagle, for counting me down. And most of all, thank you all for letting me be myself.